All right, here we are, ready to go. Game number 2 between Team Lucid and DKD, Canuck. Like I said, I think that's from some other language, which I don't know how to pronounce properly. So DKD it is. But game number 2. All right, so game number 1, we saw Lucid take a pretty convincing victory after a couple good mid-game engagements. Now, the game was pretty damn even for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and I'd actually say that DKD was ahead for a little bit of it. Their farm was just slightly better. They were finding a couple better kills on the map. It wasn't a huge blowout, but they were ahead by a small margin. And then after a couple really good team fights on the side of Team Lucid, there were a couple 5-man wipes that shouldn't have been 5-man wipes, and the advantage that was gained from those, the towers, the Roshan, just a pure golden EXP advantage, was just so huge that it kind of all just came apart for DKD, and they couldn't really hold it together, and Team Lucid ran away with that, ended up getting themselves something like a 20-kill advantage after the game was dead even for about 15 minutes, so kind of a crazy game, but anyways, getting into this one here, DKD now find themselves in a scenario where they could be dropped out of this tournament. This is a best of 3, and Lucid is up by 1. This is the playoffs of the Amateur Dota 2 League Season 2, which means that, like I said, elimination is imminent. Now, Team Lucid getting playing that offline Invoker really effectively in the last game. Although he gave up first blood, he played really damn well and made a lot happen. And so Invoker going to be banned out first by DKD, making sure that that's not in the pool. Slark and Bristleback getting taken off as well. We'll see what Team Lucid chooses to get rid of here as we head into that last ban before we get into the pick. So things kicking off here. So I didn't talk about the brackets right off the bat, but let me just snatch that up for you guys here. So, pulling these up. So, as per the standings, Team Lucid versus DKD right in the beginning, they will be playing against the winner of Laughing Roll versus Team Migrates into the J bracket, which is round 2, and the winner of that will take 4 Love versus the winner of Kisu versus Annie. And so, round of 16, looking good. See what really comes of it in a few moments. Now, getting back to the picks and bans, we see Clockwork getting picked up first by DKD, so making sure that they have that on their side. Team Lucid grabbing that Shadow Demon and the Nature's Prophet. And I put Shadow Demon to great use last game. Didn't really have a... Well, they had the... Did they use him? Or was that DKD? God, I can't remember for the life of me now. No, they didn't have Shadow Demon, did they? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had Shadow Demon. I'm crazy, man. I know there was a Shadow Demon, and I'm pretty positive it was on the side of Team. Yeah, they had Shadow Demon Nyx set. Shadow Demon Nyx and Faceless Void was their tri-lane, and DKD had Marana Crystal Maiden. That's what it was. So, Shadow Demon getting picked up. Now, we'll see what they choose to do with that prop. You can either go in the jungle or off to that off lane. Most organized teams prefer to run them in the off lane because the tri-lanes are just too good nowadays. It's hard to run a duo without getting punished, so junglers are not as popular unless they can really support the lane hard, like an Enchantress or a Chen or something along those lines. So likely an off-lane Prophet, which means that Shadow Demon will be seeing another support joining him, whether that be the Nyx Assassin again or something else. We will have to see. Now, Death Prophet getting snatched up by DKD, so already looking to have a pretty obnoxious lineup. 2 heroes that are really beefy, kind of just in your face, really tough to deal with when an engagement breaks out. So that might be the game plan here for DKD. Next round of bans come. Actually, Nyx Assassin was banned by Lucid. I didn't even realize that. They get rid of that themselves. Don't want to play against that, understandably so. But yeah, DKD. We'll see if they choose to continue on with this, because there's a lot that can be said about having just like a tanky team with nobody to truly focus. You pick up a little bit of a beefier carry, even something like a Wraith King or an Alchemist or Safe Lane Doom or something like that. I mean, none of these are really true carries, but I mean, even a Nyx or something like that would work really well. And then you're free to pick a lot of interesting supports as well. You can go for a an Omni Knight if you wanted to. You could play I don't even know, like a Sand King, Treant Protector, etc. And it's a really interesting strategy when you pick something like that, because it's really, really, really hard to make team fights happen against you, because there's not really anybody to truly focus. There's no one you can knock out of the fight early and just keep from casting their spells. I mean, if you were to go for a lineup like that, like I said, DKD right now, they've got a mid and an off lane, pretty guaranteed that that's going to be the case. I mean, it might not be, but I mean, that's what's going to happen. So now, if you wanted to go for, like I said, one of those beefy ass teams with nobody to focus, you're now needing a tri-lane. So what would be a good tri-lane that you make out of that? Well, I think Slardar. Slardar is a very strong hero in today's meta. He's just incredible, and although he has Sprint, which increases the damage dealt to him, he's also a very beefy hero innately. He's kind of a strength. He's a strength hero. He's obnoxious. Nyack's kind of the same thing. He's not really squishy in his own right. He's rather strong, and he's got the magic immunity, so it's really hard to deal with him in any regard. Now, picking your supports, going for something like an Undying, like a Treant Protector, like an Earthshaker, something along those lines. I mean, you make it really, really hard for the enemy to decide who they want to go on. And if you have an organized team fight, a good team fight where everybody is in the proper position they should be in, it makes it really tough to deal with your team. Everybody's going to manage to get off a lot of their stuff, whether that be Overgrowth, Zombie Tomb, the Clockwork's fully channeled Battery Assault, even a couple hook shots if he has an Aghanims. Death Prophet gets Exorcism going as long as she can, etc., etc. It's a fun draft. You guys can check that out on your own time when you're playing Captain's Mode with your buddies. But into the bands here, talk about these. Now, both teams running down their reserve time pretty far, thinking about what they want to get rid of here. Lich and Shadow Shaman taken out by DKD, so just eliminating the supports that they don't want to deal with. Not sure if either of those were what Lucid would have been picking up. Generally, with a Shadow Demon, you want to pick something that can combo well off of his Disruption, whether that be a Split Earth from Leshrac, Light Strike Array from Lina, a Impale from Nyx, a friggin' anything. So, he's generally played as more of a combo hero. Now, he is a very safe hero as well, so you can just pick him as for defensive disruptions and whatnot. But generally, if you want to run a Shadow Demon, even if you're going for a defensive lane, it's good to have that combo there. So I'm not sure if either of those heroes would have been the best choices. Either way, Team Lucid gets rid of the Venomancer and the Visage, two supports they just don't want to have to deal with. Once again, in my drafting discussion with A3P today, he was talking about how he really doesn't like, or he thinks Visage is one of the top tier picks in the game, and rightfully so. I mean, Lucid plays him a lot. They haven't played him in this series, but they do recognize the power of a good Visage. Oh my God, DKD, you're my favorite. Okay, Tusk is like one of my favorite heroes in the game, and although he is not quite competitively viable, he is so fun to play, and I frigging love Tusk. So, I mean, in this case, he's going to be played on a support role. I prefer putting him on the mid because he's such a damn good ganker. It's like playing Pudge, but plus 20. You're a little bit better. You're a little bit better in that ganking position. So I love Tusk, man. I love Tusk so much. I'm so happy that we get to see him. Not sure how it'll work out, though. Dazzle is picked up, which means that somebody's getting snowballed in on. Shallow Grave can prevent that Tusker bunch from finishing him off. Now, Dazzle, Shadow Demon, very defensive lane. We're probably going to be seeing a really hard farming carry on the side of Lucid, and I don't think an Anti-Mage is out of the question. They've got a lot of counter push between Templar Assassin and Nature's Prophet, as well as even the Shadow Demon. He's pretty good at pulling waves back with Shadow Poison and whatnot. As well, they have the invincibility of the Shallow Grave, and they've got defensive disruptions, not only to save him from bad situations, but to create extra illusions to help push up into the enemy base. So I think Anti-Mage is actually a fantastic pick for Lucid here, and we'll see if they do choose to go for it. Now, DKD has chosen themselves a Lion, so Tusk and Lion is going to be the support combo here. Now, not too synergistic, but I think it will work out for them well. Ice Shards into any hero, well, save for the Anti-Mage, who can blink away. will keep them in place for a almost guaranteed impale, and then a hex to follow that up. And pretty much any hero is going to fall from that without some outside intervention, like the shallow grave, like the disruption, like etc. etc. So I think Lucid's got a really safe lane, but DKD is looking to get up in their face and really make their lives miserable. Now they did ban out the Luna, while Lucid banned out the Undying. So getting rid of that tank for support, as I was talking about, something that they suspected might come out. I'm not sure if that. Well, I mean, Tusk can be played on a carry role too, but he carries really poorly into the late game, and Slardar is the choice for Lucid. I kind of wish they gone for an anti-mage. I do love anti-mage, but they go for that little bit more mid-game bruisery hero, as they do have some pretty good core on their team. Templar Assassin carries really, really well into the late game, and Nature's Prophet can do considerable right-click damage if he gets built in the proper regards. So I think Slardar, Shadow Demon, Dazzle is going to be a pretty decent lane, and it can actually go fairly aggressive. The slowdown from Shadow Poison on Dazzle will allow Slardar to catch up with Sprint and get the Slithering Crush in, beat down on some people, and the Shadow Demon will be able to disrupt into a Crush. Now we got a Meepo! Oh my god. Okay, so this throws the lanes for a bit of a whirl here, though. I think we might actually see dual lanes from DKD. Generally, when you run a Meepo, you don't want to run a tri-lane, as it starves him of EXP, and that is the one thing that Meepo needs. Now, YOLO called out by Monocle Chuk. They are ready to go for this, and I mean, if you got a good Meepo player, Meepo can be incredibly effective, and I would love to see a Meepo put to good use, but we'll see how it works out for them. Let's run through our lineups here. Meepo is going to be playing on the Meepo. Meepo. And Lion played by Tron Buster. Monocle Chuk going to be playing on the Clockwork. Space Created on the Death Prophet, and Mindfire playing on my lovely Dusky. Down on the bottom lane, we've got Fugitive playing on that Shadow Demon. We've got Slardar being played up by A3P. And heading down towards the bottom lane as well is going to be Milkbox. Now back in base, we've got Snorlax, the stand-in. He's going to be making up those trees, and we'll be heading off towards the off lane, I believe. Templar Assassin going to be played by D2, D square, whatever it is. And I'm really excited for this. Now, okay, so yeah, like I said, that threw the lanes for a bit of a whirl here. I did expect them to go aggressive, but I expected that Clockwork to be on the solo lane. Instead, we've got Clockwork, Lion, and the Tusk, and I think this is a really good lineup actually. Snowballing into a set of cogs, into whatever, Impale, into Hex, into Finger of Death, whatever. It can make for a really nasty team fight. I mean, not even a team fight, just a tri-lane versus tri-lane engagement. So I think they've got a lot to be worried about. What the? Oh my god. He tried to hand a ward off, I think. There's no way you would just ward there. I think he tried to hand the ward off to the Lion and just ended up placing it on the ground. That's really unfortunate. I mean, unless they're worried about getting dove behind the tower, but I still don't see why they would place it there. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake. A little bit of a disadvantage to that new system. Now, Tusk is going to show himself. He did come a little bit too far out of the trees there, so they do know that he is there. And so this trail line is going to be really interesting. Disruption goes out onto the Lion. I don't know if they're going... Oh my god! What the hell? That damage! What? How the... What? What? How did that do so much damage? I mean, Shadow Wave hit the disruption illusions. I got that, but holy hell, Lion just melted. He disappeared. That is your first blood, ladies and gentlemen. Lucid grabs first blood with the disruption into Shadow Wave combo, and you know, now that I think about it, I really like that combo. You've got a lot of burst damage between that. Meepo is on the mid lane versus the Templar Assassin. I hadn't gone over that quite yet, but he's going to have a rough time. He's going to have to just basically stay away from the last hits and deal with grabbing himself some EXP for as long as he can. Up on the top lane, we've got an off-lane Death Prophet versus a Nature's Prophet. So the two Prophets up here, I'll try not to get them confused, but it looks like Lion has abandoned this lane, gone up to top as they realize that that is not going to work for them. Clockwork going to take that solo lane by himself now, and rotating up as well is the Tusk. So, Meepo Now getting that change is now got his new Meepo at level 3 and dishing out a lot of damage to the TA, almost finishing her off, but he doesn't have a point in net to hold her down, so he's not going to be able to get that kill. And I actually like this combo fairly, like really well actually. It's you got a lot of damage, you got a lot of burst damage between poofs, and while that might not get through refraction, it only takes a couple of auto attacks from all of your Meepos to break that down. Now Dazzle harassing out this Clockwork who's trying to stay close to the EXP. With the Shadow Demon coming in, he's forced to back himself away. Now A3P is going to find himself some farm. Let's pull up the last hits and denies and see where we stand. 13 and 5 on the Templar Assassin. She is leading the charge and probably will be for a while. Meepo is going to get a small amount as it comes in towards his tower, but he'll never beat TA out in this lane for CS. 8 and 5 on the Slardar, and the Meepo, who I thought was getting beat pretty hard, actually has 8 to his name, so he's doing alright. On the top lane, 6 and 7 is the Nature's Prophet, while Death Prophet sitting at 7 and 7, 8 and 7 now. The rest of these supports and the offlane Clockwork sitting at 1 or less, and Clockwork getting caught out in the cogs here, dishing out a lot of damage to him with that that ability, that Soul Catcher, amplifying that damage, dropping him down pretty low. He's gonna have to run himself away back to base. Doesn't have any mana, doesn't have any health, doesn't have any consumables. He is gone. Up in the mid lane, TA's got herself a haste rune, so Meepo's got to be really, really careful. A hasted TA is incredibly dangerous. I mean, she can dive your tower, she can basically do whatever the hell she wants, because the only thing that's really going to stop you is a hard disable, which Meepo does not quite have yet. Now, a Melt Strike going to land on Meepo, but you got to poof back in. She's going for it. Like I said, you can just tower dive away, and one more Melt Strike is going to finish off Meepo, and he drops in the mid lane. Like I said, TA really dangerous with a haste rune. Haste and double damage will almost guarantee a TA a kill on pretty much anybody, unless you have some sort of AoE stun or disable that can give you enough time to run away, like you know, like a Split Earth or something that you actually land. You know, it's really rough. Now Lion sneaks down, picks up that double damage, but with the remainder of that haste, TA chases. Now she's not going to be able to pick up that kill quite yet. She doesn't have the slows and doesn't have the positioning, so she's not going to find that there. So 2 kills going the way of Lucid pretty early. You're looking at a 2-kill advantage, 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. Farm going decently for both of the safe laners, the Death Prophet and the Slardar. I fear... Whoa, disruption going out. The Clockwork, he cogs himself in. No Shadow Wave going to go out on those illusions quite yet. He's going to walk himself away. I think they realized they weren't going to get a kill, so instead they just didn't waste the mana and proceeded to return to the creep wave. Now Slardar getting up in Clockwork's face a little, but he should be safe underneath that tower. He's got cogs back up and should be alright to grab himself a little bit of EXP and farm underneath the tower. With the top lane, got both these supports stacking and pulling camps as best they can. Actually, what the hell? I'm not even sure what that was. I think they're just trying to poke down that camp as much as they can. Meepo doing alright in mid. He's got his second Meepo already, which is good. In this scenario, I would almost recommend just like throwing Meepo down to a side lane. I mean, if you can get him down to here and just hide him in the trees without anybody noticing, you know, you can catch any of the EXP that happens in this range here. Now, anyways, we got a disruption going out on the Clockwork. He's going to cogs, but the Slardar is in there. Shadow Wave dealing a lot of damage, and Slardar is going to grab the last hit there. So a third kill going down for Lucid, and things not looking good for DKD early. I mean, it is only a couple minutes into the game, but yeah, 3-kill advantage is nothing to scoff at, and I mean, especially since Lucid's heroes are farming a lot better. You got their 2 cores sitting right on top of the CS chart, with the 2 cores from DKD sitting pretty far behind with the next 2 slots. Slardar sitting on 2,000 gold. Is he going for a Midas? You can buy it straight out right now if he wants it. See if he does. So on the top lane, TA man grabs herself another haste rune, and with the smoke up on the mid lane, I think Meepo is dead again. I mean, as soon as TA sees Meepo, she can pop this trap, pop the haste, and he is done. Nothing he can do about it. Absolutely nothing. A TP support won't even be there fast enough. Oh, the supports find him anyways. He's gone. He's gone. TA's going to run ahead, and wow, Dazzle dishes out a lot of damage with that. I actually love this combo. I'm actually going to start using this in my drafts. It is... I didn't really realize how good it was on paper when I saw it during the draft, but, I mean... With Soul Catcher Disruption Soul Catcher into Shadow Wave on the illusions. That is a huge amount of burst damage. Now Tusk going in on the Dazzle, and I think Dazzle was baiting that. He knew it was coming. Now Prophet TPing in. The trees go down. Oh my god, he's blocked between the illusions and the trees. Tusk just having himself a bad day. Throws out the shards just to dish out a little bit more damage, but he falls again. 5-0. Lucid looking strong, and DKD, I don't know if they have the ability to come back. I mean, this is a pretty early deficit, and I mean, you can always come back, but the early farm on these core heroes, just, it means a lot. Slardar even getting a solo kill in the Clockwork on the bottom lane. He's picked himself up a Blink Dagger before Boots. Got himself 2 kills now, and is sitting with second highest CS in this game. Oh, this is just nasty. This is just nasty. I'm not sure I'm confident with the Meepo pickup now. I mean, it seemed genius at the time, but now that I'm watching it, it's looking a little sketchy. Meepo struggling to find himself EXP, only sitting on level 7, while the actually Slardar's level 7 too. TA's a lot better off. She's almost 9, but yeah. TA gonna find herself a regen rune, fill up her bottle there, and she'll move back towards the mid lane. This will give her a little bit of dominance for a while, but unless she really gets lucky with Meepo's positioning, she shouldn't be able to finish him off again. She does throw out a trap and dodges a net, so that could be that lucky positioning I was talking about. One more auto attack. No, the refraction charge is not going to hit. She slows up the Meepo that's running away. Prophet's going to TP in. One auto attack. It is not going to miss, and Meepo dies. 7 kills, the way of Lucid. Things looking ugly here. This is... not sure if this might have been the best game to pull out the Meepo. It's a very risky pickup, and if he gets shut down early, he's pretty much dead weight in the game. And I mean, this is why Fnatic doesn't play it, because even though they have the fantastic Meepo player in the form of No-Tail, they just, you know, they realize that Meepo's a very risky pick and should not be picked up in clutch circumstances. And when you're facing elimination like DKD is right now in this game, it's probably not the best choice to be going for that in your draft. Now, mid lane, looking for another kill on Meepo, and they're not going to dive it. I think they probably could. Oh no, they don't have enough mana. Yeah, they might not have been able to sustain that, but it could have been close. There's TA clearing up this creep wave pretty quickly. She wants to be able to get in on this tower. We do have some support rotating in by DKD. They've got the Clockwork coming in, and since Tusk is going to throw out the Ice Shards, reveal that he's there. Clockwork doesn't even have level 6. They're not going to catch TA by any means, but they will defend this tower just for now. On the top lane, Death Prophet manages to grab herself a tower, popping off that Exorcism as the Nature's Prophet had left. And so this is the one thing they got going for them. Death Prophet's been farming really well. She's actually second highest on the CS, just below the Templar Assassin, 5 below in fact, and has got herself a quick tower. Now she's working towards a 4-staff and will have it in a couple hundred gold. So she is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this game, but will it matter is the question. There's a lot of there's a huge advantage going down. Oh man, this Ice Shards cutting off the TA. They are going for it. They catch her out with the Meepos inside. They do cog her inside, and she moves. She is going to be toast. So this will be the first kill of the game on the side of DKD, and a big one it is. Getting rid of that Templar Assassin, making sure that she is not gaining any more gold on this map. And rightfully so. They definitely needed that. Meepo going to kill off a couple creeps here, and they're going to be looking to push into this mid tower. They don't have Exorcism for another 35 seconds, so I don't think they'll be able to get it quite yet, but they're definitely looking for it. Slardar doing pretty damn good on his farm, looking for power treads now. He's got 2 of the 3 components, and he's got himself a Blink Dagger, so about as scary as a Slardar can be at 10 minutes into this game, and we will see what happens. Throws out that amp damage onto the, oh man, Clockwork. I think he's going to get caught here. Blink forward, Slither and Crush, yep. Couple more auto attack. Oh man, that Shadow Wave doing a lot more damage. Did they buff that or something? It seems to be doing a huge amount more damage than normal. Slardar looking for this, man. He wants to blink. No, he can't. He's at a range. He's gonna back off for now. Tusker. He's gonna. Oh yeah, but maybe. He sees the TA. She sees him. Not going to be able to pursue onto him. She's got herself a Blink Dagger right now, too. She's going to blink forward onto the Meepo, looking for him. One more auto attack! She's throwing out the traps. Prophet's TPing in. 1 auto attack, 2 auto attacks. Meepo is dead. This Meepo has seen much death. Very much death. 4 deaths, actually. And Tusk are going to go down as well. And Lucid just taking off with this game. Oh my god, this is huge. Clockwork gets a good hook in on the TA underneath the tower. He gets hexed up, and TA might actually die. She's looking pretty sad here, but turns around, dishes out enough damage that Clockwork has to back himself away. Slardar forcing off the support, and oh my god, with a blink in, she is going to grab herself another kill, and Templar Assassin, wow. starting to take off, and oh my god, so aggressive, jumping in underneath tier 4s at 12 minutes, looking for kills, and that might have been a little bit too greedy. On her attempt to get out, she gets netted up, and both the TA and the Slardar lose their lives, so perhaps overextending just a little bit too far here. Don't have the tier 1 mid, and you're pushing tier 4s. I don't know, man, that seems a little bit too anxious to me, but anyways, those are some big kills. Like I said, I never want to call a team out because DKD is certainly not out by any means at this point. But once again, they got a mountain to climb. And, oh, disruption goes out on the Meepo as the teleport comes in. Meepo dead again. Really, really unfortunate. Gets caught up, and the kill goes to the Shadow Demon, man. This Meepo's got to be a lot more careful. He's just got to stick to the jungle. And I mean, he was even getting caught out in the jungle, but you know, you got to get the defensive wards up and make some room for him. You know, Slardar coming in from behind the tower, gets the amp damage up on the Tusk. Blinks in, slithering crush. Now the snowball back to stun him up. Tusk punch goes out, but that is it. Clockwork has to hook himself away defensively. Still might not even get out as Blink forward. Doesn't have the crush quite yet. He is going to pop that off right now. Death Prophet trying to make something happen over here, but now looking for the TA. Action. Oh my god, she's so low. He's going to try to turn around and run away. Blinks herself off. Are the Exorcism Spirits going to finish her off? So close, but no! Slardar did manage to pick off the Clockwork, and Death Prophet does die as well. Dazzle did fall in that engagement, but we're looking at a 16-4 kill score at the end of all that. Meepo trying to make something happen. Should not have tried to make something happen. Ugh. I would not be surprised if we saw a GG here early. This is just getting out of control. Meepo has fed 6 kills this game, not having himself a good time. And Death Prophet, their one saving grace, has died twice since coming out of that top lane. Clockwork's 0-4. I mean, your support's not doing too well either. Tusk has got himself a couple kills, but not enough to justify the huge gold deficit they're at right now. Take a peek at the graphs right now. Yeah, we see almost 10k EXP in the favor of Team Lucid right now, and if we look towards the gold, about 10,000 gold as well. Really taking off of this game and taking every liberty they can, stealing up the stacked camps in the enemy's jungle, and there's not much they can do about it. I mean, if DKD tries to contest this, they're going to try to contest this, but I don't think it's going to work out for him. Clockwork's getting beaten down inside his own cogs. Jumping on the TA, she takes a little bit of damage, but she's going to have a fraction up in a moment, which she'll be able to use to turn back around. Now going in, the line is going to fall. Clockwork fell already. Now Prophet ulti coming in, dishing out a lot of damage, and the Slardar does actually fall, but TA just doing work right now. Trying to finish off that last injured Meepo as Nature's Prophet, but worried about his well-being, backs off, and with one Meld Strike, Meepo will fall. Death Prophet does get herself out of that alive, but I think that's going to be it. We're looking at a 4 times multiplied kill score at 15 minutes. That is just huge. And oh my god! Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Okay. TA does fall underneath the tier 4s. If TA had the presence of mind to attack that Clockwork a second earlier, the Psyblades would have killed Death Prophet. They were in perfect line, and she was in range. Ooh, that could have been so ugly, but instead, TA waits a second later. Clockwork does get a little bit off to the side, so the angle was off. Now, they do find a Shadow Demon here, and he might actually fall. It's a lot of control. Tusk Punch comes out, or Walrus Punch, and 406 gold goes the way of Tusk. Shadow Demon does fall, and TA fell inside the base as well. So, you know, like I said, I wouldn't be ashamed to call this a roll, but, I mean, it's still winnable. It's still winnable. Like I said, I mean, ugly, but not unwinnable. Now, Slardar getting himself caught out here, finds himself in cogs, trying to run away. Snowball is up, they're chasing him down, but he blinks away, and the Snowball's not going to hit him. He's going to be able to get out of that fine. Nature's Prophet gets a kill with his ultimate. Nature's Wrath picks off that really low Lion who was in the midst of that fight, and he's not having fun. Meepo is retired to the enemy jungle, trying to find himself a little bit of farm. Got himself that Ogre Club, trying to build towards that Aghanims, but I mean, he's just not finding any luck anywhere. He's getting levels, which is what a Meepo needs, but it's just, oh man. I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad. 7 deaths. It's just so hard. So rough, so rough, so rough. And the bottom lane, Prophet just split pushing. He's got himself that Shadow Blade as well, so he's going to be able to get out of pretty much anything unless the enemy team brings Dust, which they haven't been this far. 4, 0, and 9 is that Nature's Prophet. So he's got himself all he really needs. And he's got a ton of gold underneath his belt. Same with the Templar Assassin. She's got almost 4,000 gold stashed up here, and I think that's enough for... She's getting close to being able to build a full Desolator. Now, yeah, full Desolator, 4,100. So she's about 100 gold away from that. I think that'll probably be your next purchase. Now, blink forward by the Slardar. Catches 2 with the Slithering Crush. TA goes in, almost one-shots the Tusk, but gets snowballed up, and she gets stuck inside the cogs now. I can't keep track on her, but if you can see her health dropping really quickly, so they do manage to make a kill out of that. So Tusk for the TA, and with the disruption going out on that Shadow, or on that Dazzle, they might be able to make an engagement out of this. The Slardar getting caught out. Net goes out on to the Shadow Demon, and with a couple of poofs, he is going to fall. We're trying to chase down this Dazzle, who will probably fall in just a moment here. Death Prophet still looking for something, but Slardar not going to be it. Now a hook in on the Dazzle finishes him off, and A3P looking for this. He really wants to make it happen, but as he sees the snowball and the clockwork, he decides to sprint himself away, and he should be fine. Now meanwhile, Nature's Prophet been pushing down on the bottom, dished out quite a little bit of damage to the bottom tier 3, and Meepo has returned to ward that off. Now Meepo, latest patch, got himself an earlier level on his Divided We Stand, so he now gets that at level 3. I think it's 3, 11, 17 is the levels that he gets his ultimate at. So so he has his second Meepo a little bit earlier to farm up that EXP. As well, the death timer has been reduced on for him. So he respawns faster with higher ranks of his ultimate. So in that engagement, we saw him go down relatively early in the fight, and well, more towards the middle of the fight, but that allowed him to get back up and thwart off that Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet back up on the top lane, pushing this one out. He's got enough gold for his Necro 2. He's got a Necro 1 sitting in stash already, and yeah, there he goes. He upgrades it. TP's back to base, and they'll be picking that up in just a moment. Now we do have the Slithering Crush coming out on the Lion, who jumps forward. Oh my god! I think that was 2 shots, one from the Slardar and one from the Meld Strike, and that was it. Lion just explodes. Now Meepo poofs himself away, realizes that is not where he wants to be. Tusk is going to throw out a Polar Punch, and not going to make anything of that. Meepo trying to get into this fight. I don't think he should get into this fight. Not smart. He might get a kill on the Shadow Demon, but he's going to get popped in just a moment. Now Slardar beating down on this clockwork inside his own cogs will manage to get that kill. TA going to see that Meepo, and I think she could go back in on that if she wanted. She can 2-shot any of those. Yeah, there she goes. She blinks over the wall, going 1, 2, 3 hits. Meepo is dead. DKD looking ugly here. 28 to 11 your kill score, and they're finding some kills on the supports here and there, but they're getting picked apart by this Nature's Prophet, and they're just losing every single engagement they get into. Nature's Prophet now cracking a tier 3 at 20 minutes exactly, and now looking to push into the racks. Oh, whoa. Tusk snowballing in to see what he can find, but there's no reveal. There's no reveal. Shadow Blades just walks away, and we've even got the Shadow Demon purchasing himself up a Necro. We've got a Necro 3 on the Prophet, Necro 1 on the Shadow Demon, and the amount of gold Shadow Demon's been seeing this game, wouldn't be surprised if he manages to get a 3 before this game. Now, Tusk charging into battle, going to see what he can get done, but just not making it happen here. He does catch TA with the Ice Shards, but oh man, this gets turned around. One Meld Strike going to finish that off. TA jumping in, so much damage. You just can't stop this girl. She is dishing out about 260 damage with refraction up, plus the armor shred from Desolator. Just so much. Look at that. Look at that. One Meld Strike. And she does get caught in the cogs. A lot of damage coming out from the Exorcism. She might fall here. And yeah, a lot of damage being dished out. She does fall, but I mean, at what cost? They lost half their team to that, and meanwhile, engagement's going down mid. The Meepo does fall once again, and Lucid has pressure in towards the mid lane. So I think they've got DKD in a ball on the ground, you know, screaming for mercy. All they're gonna have to do is make them really tap out. Really tap out. They're gonna have to make the ambulance show up and cart them away. And I mean, Necro Creeps knocking down on this Rax. They get a range Rax right off the bat. I've explained this in previous broadcasts, but the range racks do not regenerate, the melee racks do. So if you are just going to be picking away at buildings with creeps like this and just kind of walking in and out and taking stabs at it, it's better to go for the ranged because your damage will not be recuperated. Now, DKD not able to thwart off those Necro creeps as they are stronger than most of their heroes right now, and so they do not thwart the creeps from preventing that, or from killing off that melee Rex. Melee Rex goes down. There's a full set of Rex at 22 minutes. Lucid just looking to seal the deal now. Moving in towards that tier 3 tower, and I mean, they're doing it with pretty much impunity here. They've got a Black King Bar up on the Slardar. He's looking to blink in and cause trouble whenever he can. Templar Assassin also looking really ugly. She's got a Chrysalis to her name, and the Daedalus, the Desolate. Anyways, wow, they actually catch the Slarkin with a lot of damage going out. Meepo actually picks up a kill. So Slardar getting a little bit too overzealous there, gets a little too far forward, and is disabled for too long to be able to pop up his Black King Bar or make anything of that. Now, Clockwork Hook misses as Prophet moves back in to take one more auto attack, so unfortunate there, they don't manage to engage on that. But anyways, Meepo getting himself caught out really low, does drop once again, down for 45 seconds, and Lion drops in the mid lane as well. Exorcism goes down trying to make something of this, but Demonic Purge goes out of the Death Prophet. I don't think she's going to make it out of this alive. Weave drops, trees go down, blocking out that Death Prophet and catching the Clockwork in. Now looking to pick off both these heroes. I think they will manage to. The Death Prophet is actually escaping really, really low, but Templar Assassin looks like she's chasing that out. Tusk gets himself into an ugly situation here. He drops as well, and TA did follow the Death Prophet, manages to get her out. She buys back right away, but that was a 5-man wipe for that one Slardar, who was actually dropped way before that engagement. Now TA just chasing out a tier 4, not giving one single fuck, blinking forward, and oh, there it is. The side blades will finish off the Death Prophet, and DP hangs out the Lion for getting her kill. But Lion does manage to grab himself a kill on the TA, and GG is finally called here. DKD feeling defeated, and good luck next, being very good sports about it, offering Team Lucid good luck in their next round of the Amateur Dota 2 League Tuesday League Season 2 playoffs. This has been a Amateur Dota 2 League broadcast. I am Cptn.Canuck, and I am so glad to have had you guys join me here. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube if you guys really enjoyed my casting. My YouTube is youtube.com/CptnCanuckDota, as well twitch.tv/CptnCanuckDota, and Twitter @CptnCanuckDota. So thanks guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time for more Amateur Dota 2 League action. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you guys next time. Congratulations to Team Lucid, and better luck next time to Team DKD. Cheers, everybody.